What are your crimes, Mark? Yes, what are your crimes, Mark? Did you beat your wife? Did you kick a pup? Well, find your crimes or make it up. Did you laugh at Hubbard? That's not nice, so now you'll have to pay your price. So what are your crimes, Mark? What have you done? Oh, it's too late now. Fair game's begun.
What have I done? Well, I've enturbulated the city of Clearwater. It's sad, but true. I guess the council wasn't necessarily happy that I opposed their plans. But, I mean, that was not unexpected. I showed up there and they were saying, I think we know what you're going to talk about tonight. So, hi, everybody. It's me, Mark Bunker, here on Xenu TV, broadcasting throughout this entire sector of the galaxy and concentrating here in the capital city, Clearwater, of the planet Tegiak. It's an exciting place to be, and I'm worried that our fate was doomed with this decision last night. Actually, it was doomed the moment L. Ron Hubbard decided to sneak into town, but there had been hope. There had been hope. I brought hope. I tried to bring hope. I think what we did on the last council actually were very good steps forward, and now it's all gone. Hey, Farrell Cheryl, new member. How are you? Thanks for showing up, and thanks for being there last night at the exciting event. Now, I'm laughing because I'm looking at your thumbnail, and at first I thought that you were like blacking out your boobs, but I see you're holding on to cans, so there's a different than holding on. Well, never mind. Nice to see you. Welcome. I appreciate you being here and becoming a member. Very exciting. Hank 209er is here. Hello. We stand tall, except for Slappy. Yeah. Oh, he's celebrating right now. I know it. Jay says, we love you, Bunky. Mic drop last night. Well, I got to tell you, we'll talk a lot about that, but the real drop was when I realized, they're not going to answer questions. They're all glaring at me. All right, I'll put down the mic and I'll step away from the podium. Let's see here. Farrell Cheryl says it was riveting. Well, that's right from inside the council chambers for you. Marcia Smith, bless you, Mark. I clapped after your speech. Thank you from Texas. Well, thank you from Texas. And I appreciate your support. It's nice to have folks from all across the country and across the world and on nearby planets and galaxies as well, tuning in, fascinated to see what's going to happen next in the sad saga of Scientology taking over Clearwater. Boom. Jay says they weren't ready for your questions last night. Well, they would have been ready. And let me defend our attorney. We'll talk about that. What the heck? Say hi to a few more people here. Who just came in? Let's see. That's Michael Andreas. The armed fisherman has a video about last night. He says that one of the ladies in the front bought her condo from a Scientologist. I think he's probably referring to Lena, because Lena owns an apartment or a condo in one of the downtown condo complexes that it was put up by developer Ray Casano, who I served with on the downtown development board for a while. And I think Lena has 2 condos in that building. Doesn't mean that she's on the Scientology payroll or working for Scientology or anything like that. She was one of the one of the only people, and I thought she would be the lone person to vote against giving this street away to, or selling this street to Scientology so they could put up a brand new, magnificent, huge Hubbard Hall, which will be the unmissable when people drive past to go down to the beach. Oh, it's not like anybody ever goes down to Clearwater Beach. But yeah, that's going to be a big glaring monument to Hubbard, and it is the last thing that we need. Did I say hi to you, Marcia? Oh, yes, I do. I did. I see you clap for me. That's right. Well, okay. So I take it probably all of you have seen at least my comments and probably watched. I don't know if you watched the whole meeting or that segment of the meeting about Scientology and the Hubbard Hall, or maybe you watched some of the coverage of it. You know, Tony and I sat down last night to do a live stream right after. So it's kind of old news by now, I imagine. And before I go further, Marina, troll. Hi, Mark. Loved what you said at the meeting yesterday. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You troll, you? Really? You're a troll? You seem pretty nice for a troll. So here's the deal. It's always been difficult trying to decide how to deal with Scientology. And my position has been, don't deal with them, work around them. Nothing that Miscavige does is going to be in the city's interest. And I tried to show briefly, oh, that's good to know. Marina is not a troll, and she comes in peace. Well, you're welcome here anytime. So really, you know, Miscavige has done everything in his power to slow down any chance of having a successful, thriving downtown. And the thing is, the city should know that. I mean, when I was on the council for 4 years, I certainly tried to educate them as much as possible. I brought in Mike Rinder to talk to them about what it's like to deal with Miscavige. And still, there's this feeling that, oh, no, things are going to be different now. What the biggest difference is now Slappy owns virtually everything downtown. There's nothing really left except one block. Oh, somebody gifted some memberships here. Let's say, Jay, 10 Xeno TV memberships. God bless you. And look, Bridge is here. Bridge 1872. Hi to you. Everybody wave to her. Unstoppable. Hello, Mr. Bunker. What's new today? Oh, nothing much. Where is Shelley? No news on that either. Oh, Joe Raz and her alien dog are here. I don't believe I've seen you in our chat before. Welcome to you, both of you. Oh, Marcia's got a question here. Can they be outbid over $1.3 million? Certainly. No one's going to do it. You know, there's really no other use for that street. I mean, Lena was talking last night in her comments. We can watch some of the comments of the other council members there. But Lena was talking about the fact that this is an important street that she drives down every day. I'm not sure how important it is. I believe her that she probably drives down it every day. It's just a one-block street. that's like right in the center of the flag building. And I'll say it's, it's usually where I park when I want to go out and protest Scientology. So that may be a reason why they want to take over and shut down that street. JB808, Mr. Wise Beard Man, that's me. Hey, look at me. It's me. Welcome. And Joe Raz says, I always watch your videos. I just always miss your lives. Well, not tonight. Welcome. This is so exciting to have you here. Does your alien dog watch the videos as well with you? I find that it's almost like the RCA Victor logo from the old record players where the dog would just sit there. I think most critters just love. They're transfixed. What's the wise beard man going to say next? Will he bark? All right. Let's see. So the street that they're going to take over, they're paying market price for it. And one question I would have had, Joe Raz's alien dog is right beside her, as it should be. So they were kind of touting the fact that Scientology is going to pay market value, and they're going to pay for the loss of future parking revenue, which, I mean, is fairly insignificant. But I wonder why they didn't say, hey, why can't we have the deal that these other property owners had when you were paying them 2, 3, 4, 6 times the market value for the empty buildings you've just been sitting on? Why is it just market value for us, for heaven's sakes? Huh? Why? And I think we know why, because they can get away with it. I'm sure they're very reluctantly giving them market value for it. Let's see. What's going on here? Debbie Smith Caliguri. Apparently Scientology has bought and paid Clearwater off. I don't think that's true. City officials are greedy for money and can be and are bought off. I know these people. I worked with them. They're good people. Nobody's on the take. There's nobody that is, getting rich at the city there. Although some people, you make much better salaries than the council members did. One thing Lena did do, though, toward the end of the last council when I was there, she did say, "Hey, let's give ourselves a raise." So they pretty much doubled, or maybe even a little bit more from what we were paid on the council when I was on it. I think when I started, it was $22,000 a year. And then I think it got up to like 24,000, but I think it's in the 50s now, which is nice. I could not vote for that in good conscience, because I hate it when I see Congress is like in the middle of the night giving themselves a raise. And, it's sickening. So I could not do that myself. So there are 2 of us, Kathleen and I, voted no, and the other 3 people voted yes for it. So it won. And I remember during the election then, shortly after that, somebody was saying, I never vote for a Democrat. They just gave themselves a raise. And I said, well, hold on. The only people who voted no on that were the 2 Democrats. I mean, that was brought up by Republicans and passed by Republicans. So, you may hate us for other reasons, but really, we're nice people. Would I run for the council in the future? Yeah, it's possible. In 26, there'll be another open race. Lena will be up, and then David Albritton, who's on there now, this would be the end of his second term, so he's not able to run again. It's his stepson who is sitting in my seat now. Ryan Cotton ran and won for my seat. So it's something that I'd really like to do. Some things have changed, though. One is that when we had the election last time, the one thing that the Republicans on the council were pushing hard from the moment I won is that we had to change the way the elections are run in Clearwater, because there were 5 people in my race, and I won with the most votes, but less than 50%. So there was this big push. We have to have runoffs. Runoffs are important. No one should be elected with less than 50% of the votes. And the person who was pushing that, I noted while he was talking on the council, you ran unopposed a couple of times. So, I'd be happy to accept that too. So now it's more expensive to run a campaign. And the big reason I lost this last time by 600 votes, this time it was a 3-person race. Me, Ryan Cotton, and Mike Mastrisario. Mike, I thought, would be the biggest challenger because he was also pushing anti-Scientology stuff. And he was recruited by our former mayor, Frank Hubbard, whom I like. I always admired him. He and I don't seem to see eye to eye anymore ever since he quit in the middle of a council meeting because he didn't like losing a vote. So he kind of talked Mike into running for my seat to take away some anti-Scientology votes for me to make sure that I don't win. And, there was that. So I thought he would be the biggest challenger, and he had signs everywhere. He owns a printing shop, and that's his business. So big signs, small signs with his mug on it, color signs everywhere. And my signs were being stolen off the streets. So I thought, who's even going to know I'm running? But the fact is that the signs turned out to not mean anything because he came in a distant third. And I have to say that yesterday he came to speak at the council meeting as well. And he was nice enough when he came in to say to me, I'm sorry I ran against you. Which took me back at first because I thought, in my mind, I was saying, you rat bastard, I'm sorry you did too. But I did come back and thank him because that was a nice thing for him to say. And we sat next to each other at the meeting, and he got up and had a lot of good things to say on the council as well, to the council. So getting back to this other thing, and I'll go back and I see there are a few questions. I'll go back and answer those. But with the runoffs, it makes it far more expensive now. So you have to run an entire race. And then if there's a runoff, you got to spend a ton of money again to run a second campaign. And the first time I ran, in the entire race, I made $17,000 to put into that campaign, which was nothing. This second run, Aaron was doing all the fundraising essentially, and he raised, I think, $55,000 or $57,000 for my campaign, which was a huge difference. But it did not match up with the money that was spent by the Republican Party to get rid of me and get rid of Kathleen, who was running for mayor. We were the two Democrats on there. And in this last election, there was no Democrat on the presidential ticket because Biden didn't put his name into the state. He was going to be the candidate, so he didn't have his name on the ballot, but Trump did. So all the Republicans came out to vote, and the Democrats said, well, I'll just wait until it's presidential election time. So, we knew for a year going into this that it's going to be a real uphill battle for me to get reelected. But then, it turned out that the Republican Party chose a slate of 3 candidates to run. And every day people were getting mailers about these 3 people: Ryan, Mike, I forgot, Menino, thank you, and the now mayor. So they were hit constantly. And I think in the entire course of my campaign, I was able to send out 3, I think, mailers to people. So that money is important that way, because it's that type of impression that makes a big deal. So there's a lot of stuff going against me this time. I came close. So, I might run again. I have to consider whether it's even feasible to win. And I got to tell you, the changing attitude towards Scientology is not going to make it any easier. Let me go back here, because I saw people were typing things in here while I was blabbing away. Let me go back. I always watch your videos. Yes, I know that. Yes, your dog's sitting right beside you. Yes. Oh, and then we left off with apparently Scientology has bought and paid Clearwater off. No, that's not true. Here's a comment from Bridget, or Bridge. 1872, is that what it is? Comment: why Clearwater would want Scientology to be the welcome sign for everyone going to Clearwater Beach is not going to attract vacationers or beachgoers. Just saying. Good point. But I think the real reason is they've got a stranglehold on the downtown. And I'm sure that the people who are on the council now and in the city, they're not happy about it. But now they feel they have to rely on Miscavige to come through with his promises. Oh my God. And I've tried to explain, it's bad. I wouldn't get your hopes up there. But the guy has every building in his control. And his promise back in 2017 was, leave it to me. I just want that lot that the aquarium was going on that I chased away. I want that lot. And if you give me that, I will fix up all the buildings downtown. I'll put a pretty facade on all of them. And I got a guy in Tampa who'll come here and he'll recruit businesses for him. And we'll make a thriving downtown. Oh, don't forget, Tom Cruise and I are personally going to build a movie theater and a disco and a nightclub. And it's going to be so exciting. Just give me that property. And the city said, no, we want to have that for our bluff. These are the properties we want to develop with apartments and things to go along with the park that we just spent $83 million on, and the outdoor amphitheater. So we've got plans for that. And Miscavige was furious that he couldn't get that plot. And that's when he said, all right, I'll wait for the next council. And the next council, he got me. So there was a small delay in his plans. But he just waited for the next council, and he got what he wanted. And he's on a different time frame. I don't have a billion years to get stuff done. But Miscavige now, he's in control. He's in the driver's seat. We can't take all those buildings back. What we could do, and what we were working on, and this was in motion, we had 400 apartments going up on that bluff property, and that apartment complex was going to have retail as well. And next to it was going to be a hotel, still going to be a hotel with retail and a beer garden and all sorts of stuff. And so we got people living downtown then when this is finished. And that's going to be a big help in getting people to the few restaurants that are there right now, and help more places open up if Miscavige allows them to do so. That's always the tough point. But there is an opportunity there. Plus, the county is moving out of all their properties downtown, and they're creating their own facility somewhere out in the county. So there are going to be a whole bunch of buildings in the near future that are kind of earmarked for Clearwater to control and keep them out of the hands of Scientology. So we are going to continue to build around Scientology, since not a lot we can do with everything that they own now. Now, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that there's hope. I have to convince myself that it's still possible. Maybe Slappy will do it. Maybe Slappy will resurrect the downtown and build an incredible movie theater that will turn me away at the box office. I don't know. He's had the properties. He's had the ability to do that since 2017. And he has shown that he has not lifted a finger. And in these personal meetings he was having with the council members, he was telling all of them that, this is going to be great. Oh, this is going to be fantastic. And I want to show you this video of the L. Ron Hubbard Hall. And Ryan, who replaced me on the council, that was one of the big points he made in the meeting last night. If only the public saw this video, then they'd realize what a great thing this is. It's beautiful. It looks just like the other buildings from Scientology down there. And it's just so gorgeous, so well made. Yeah, that's not the problem. Showing that video is not going to help anything. And I'll tell you why they don't show that video. Right now, David Miscavige, to answer the city's call to show that, oh yeah, he can do something and he will do something for downtown. He selected 3 buildings that he controls, and he's having them refurbished. And they put together a video that's so beautiful, gorgeous. Would you like to see it? I think I can play it for you, or at least scan through it. And you'll notice that this is not from the Church of Scientology, even though clearly, if you watch the video, this is a Scientology production. All the bells and whistles that go along with the glossy Scientology videos nowadays. Let me see if I can bring this up. All right. Historic Cleveland Street. So this is not from, let me see if I can get this full screen. Here we go. Are you seeing this? Oh yes, you're seeing this. So you can see here, I can't see this on the screen there when I'm trying to play it, but see the magnificent transformation now underway from the historic Cleveland Street Alliance. You'll notice Scientology is not mentioned anywhere in here. Let's play the video and just take a gander at it. So, oops. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Trying to turn the volume down. All right. So, nothing about Scientology in this one. And they go into great detail for each of these buildings, showing you all the wonderful things that they're doing here. And trust me, it is going to be gorgeous. They are rebuilding it completely from the ground up. They're reinforcing the walls. They're putting new brick facade on there, hurricane windows. Oh my God, it's going to be gorgeous. And then they're going to have, solar power, and they're going to have offices on the upper floors and retail on the bottom, and it'll look gorgeous inside too. So I have no doubt that each and every one of these buildings is going to be lovely, because that's what Scientology does. They got the money to do it. But what business is going to be in there? What's Slappy going to allow in there? What offices are going to be on the upper floors? Is it going to be more Scientology stuff? Only Scientologists? You know, I don't mind if Scientologists have their offices in there. I honestly don't. But if he's saying that this is for the city, he's taking a lot on his shoulders. He's saying, leave everything to me. I got a guy in Tampa. Got a guy in Tampa who's going to recruit businesses there. And we'll get a steakhouse, and we'll get this and that and the other thing. And there'll be retail and restaurants. And it's going to be so exciting. Again, he's owned everything since 2017. He could have done this at any time, and he hasn't lifted a finger, really, except for these 3 properties, which he did because it was part of an agreement for a land swap, so he could put up an L. Ron Hubbard museum. Well, that museum has now been folded into the L. Ron Hubbard Hall. So that's still, the promise of what could happen if you approve the L. Ron Hubbard Hall. We'll make all the buildings down here pretty but my question, well, there are a bunch of questions I have. What happens if he puts a business in there and it fails in a month, whether on purpose or not? Is he obligated to put another business in there, and another and another? What happens if there are businesses everywhere, but people don't want to come downtown because now David Miscavige controls everything, including all the retail stores and all the restaurants that, there are non-Scientologists now running restaurants in buildings owned by Scientologists, essentially by Miscavige. And they put pressure on these people. They're insisting on like month-to-month leases now. If somebody wants to open a business down there, it's month to month. You can't go in and, if you're opening up your own restaurant, it takes hundreds of thousands of dollars to put in all what you need to have, a kitchen and all this stuff that goes with it. Who's going to do that on a month-to-month lease? And there are, I hear from some of these people. Before I get there, I just want to thank you. I see there was a $50 donation there. I really appreciate that. Let's see, who's that from? I just have to tell you that I appreciate that a lot. Keeps me going. Ms. Pillow. Is it a pillow? I like to think it's French. So the restaurant owners, they don't want to really go on record, but they talk to us. And one of them said, hey, the restaurant next door, The owner of that building is saying now, whenever there's a concert across the street in the amphitheater, he wants an extra cut of every sale. And that restaurant decided, I'm just going to close my doors whenever there's a concert. I mean, he's trying to gouge me. It's like the mafia. So you think that's going to let up? You think that if Miscavige controls the entire downtown, every single building, there's not going to be pressure on everybody? Listen, when they bought, there's an office tower that's across the street from where City Hall is now, and the building that City Hall is in is now owned by Scientologists. But we heard from people back in 2000, during the LMT years, I think it was, that somebody working, not even a boss or anything, and working in one of the businesses in this other tower, he said something negative about Scientology, and Pat Harney and who's the other PR guy at the time, Al Butner, both ran in there and demanded to see his boss and get him fired. I don't think he was fired in that case, but that's the type of thing that they do. There was a guy who contacted the LMT. He had written a letter to the editor saying, L. Ron Hubbard's a lousy science fiction writer. They came to his job and tried to get him fired. So Miscavige is going to rule the downtown like that, with his thumb on it. And are people going to want to come down if it is Miscavige's downtown? That's a question I really want them to answer, because I don't think they will. Now people are saying, I don't want to come downtown because of Scientology. So what if Miscavige fixes everything up, puts businesses in all the buildings, and no one wants to come down there because of him, because of Scientology? And it's failing. My feeling is, at that point, he'll go, well, we tried. We fixed up the buildings and we put businesses in, but it's obviously not working. So we're going to tear down all these businesses and let's just put up some condos here for the wealthy Scientologists so they can live right here next to Flag, and they can just walk over and do their auditing and walk an extra little block and then go to the majestic L. Ron Hubbard Hall. That seems like the future of downtown Clearwater now. I did not think that when I was on the council, but this is my concern right now. I'm not sure of a way back once you've handed everything to Miscavige. All I was saying in my comments was hold on to the street for now, let him come through. But nope. Got to do it now because Miscavige wants it now. Well, he wanted it 4 or more years ago. So I've been blabbing away here with my incredible commentary. I know it's riveting, but I have not been able to see the other questions or comments you made. Marcia Smith. Do you think they are afraid of Scientology backlash in their personal lives? I don't think so. I mean, it's not something that I ever hear them talking about. I'm sure everybody, is concerned about, they've gone off after people, they follow people. But I haven't heard anyone within City Hall say, "Ooh, geez, are they following me?" I don't know. And I don't think they're paid off. I think they feel trapped. And at this point, it's like, what are you going to do? This may be our only option. And then the other point I wanted to make about that beautiful video we just watched of the 3 buildings being renovated doesn't say anything about Scientology. Ryan Cotton on the council last night was going, why doesn't Scientology show people that beautiful video. Why? Because it says the L. Ron Hubbard Hall, not some beautiful historic telephone company that we're fixing up. Or how about the Woolworth across the street? Did you see we're going to put the original Woolworth sign on there, even though there's not going to be a Woolworth in the building? Oh, it's going to look so great. It doesn't say L. Ron Hubbard's Woolworth. And that's why they don't want to show it to the public. They want to hide that aspect of it. Just give us the street. We're going to put up a hall. Don't worry about it. So there you go. Why? That's my feeling. Need a strong mayor. At least Frank was a stronger mayor, even though he walked away. Yeah, that's true, Kenny. I liked Frank. I voted for Frank. If he had stayed, I probably would have voted for him again. I was not happy with what he did after he quit, because he worked behind the scenes. I mean, he lost on 2 votes, pretty much, within a few weeks of one another. One was about bringing more safety to Drew Street, because for years and years and years, people there have been saying there's an accident on this street basically every day. And people are speeding through here. We need help. And after years and years and years of them begging for help, the council I was on finally approved these plans that were underway for us, I think, since 2017, maybe earlier, to really fix up that neighborhood and make it safer. And Frank was opposed to it, and so was Lena. They were the 2 no votes. And then the other 3 of us, Kathleen, me, and David Albritton, thought it was a good idea to do this. So Frank was absolutely upset about that. And then the other thing was, when we were voting on what we want to spend money on in the next year, the first thing that came before us was, are we going to put together this city hall that they've had money sitting around for since they left the old city hall around 2017 or 18. And we said, yeah, it's time that we get this done. And he was very upset about that. And he called a recess, came back 5 minutes later and said, I'm not a quitter, but I quit. I'm not the guy to run this council. Okay. I'm fine with that. If you're going with your conscience, I appreciate that. But then he was working behind the scenes to derail the safety on Drew Street, and I thought, come on. He was going to the state level and talking to Senator Hooper and putting wording into the budget that would have, stopped that in its track. And I thought that was the first real case of politics, that, dirty politics that I encountered. So I wasn't crazy about that. And then ultimately they slowed it down enough and they spent so much money to get rid of me and Kathleen, that when the next council came in, first thing they did was take away the improvements to Drew Street. And I got a kick out of going to the groundbreaking ceremony for the new city hall a few months ago. And the mayor, who was sending out these deceptive mailers in his campaign for mayor, he was saying, we're spending $91 million on a city hall. We're creating. That's what Frank did. The day after he quit, he went on Fox News nationwide and said that we're building a Taj Mahal for ourselves. Not the case. And we had what's called neighborhood weekend, neighborhood day, rather, is what it is. Like that, a week or so after that. And neighborhood day, council members and staff all go around to the different neighborhoods in town, and there's little barbecues going on, and we talk to the people and answer questions. And everywhere we go, you're building a Taj Mahal to yourself. What the, huh? And we'd have to explain, no, I know the mailer says we're spending 91 million. We're spending 31 million. 30 that was earmarked just for that already for years and years and years, and an extra million. And we're going to spend another 10 million to restore the utilities building that needed a lot of work to bring another 20 years of life to it. So that was frustrating to see a campaign full of lies, because that wasn't the case in my race or even during the race between Aaron and Lena. I know there was it was a nastier race, but it wasn't entirely fictional. All right. The fact that campaigns are so expensive in the U.S. puts the power into the hands of the rich, at least on the national level. Yeah. Look at what's happening now. The richest man in the world is dismantling our entire safety net. And it's just beginning. I'm sorry. I know people don't want to hear politics, but it is very frightening to see that this man is allowed to go in and just close down agencies and fire people with no understanding of who's being fired, why the department is even needed, why U.S. aid around the world helps the country instead of leaving all those people to rely on China and Russia to be the people who provide care for them. Anyway, money is incredibly important in politics, and that's sad. It's to a scary level right now on the national level. And I'm biting my tongue a lot on that. Rochelle says hi. Hello. Something made you laugh your ass off. I'm not sure what it was, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. Hey, Mark Mods, chat room raid from Natalie's channel. Does it mean everyone from Natalie's channel has come over here? Is that what that means? I hope so. It'd be nice. Thanks. So what else is here that I need to address? Hit that like button. Yep, there you go. Good advice. Doesn't matter to you, not to me. Let's see. Kenny says, currently weak mayor. Well, Mayor Kretikos was the mayor right before Mayor Hibbard. So Kretikos 7, is that the seventh clone of Kretikos that is in what's his name now? Can't even think of the current mayor's name. Sorry. Mayor Kretikos was not a bad mayor. I didn't always agree with him, but he was a good man. And I've had a chance to chat with him at various events over the last 4 years. $17,000. Oh, $17,000 is a lot of money for my first campaign. You would think. You'd be surprised how quickly that goes. For instance, I had political consultants guiding me. 2 of them, they worked as a team, and they got $900 a month of that. So, over the course of 9 months, that was, a lot. And then, you got all of the signs you have to buy and mailers. And we had enough for, I think, one mailer in my first campaign. So, 17,000 seems like a lot, and I could use it right now. But when it comes to a campaign and you've got people seriously spending money against you, then it's not that much. Holly Lewis saw me yesterday at the meeting. Thank you for going, as none of the others showed up. F Scientology. Yeah. F them. It was nice to see some people there. I was surprised that I didn't see Aaron. I understand Jenna was in town. They may have had other things that they needed to get done. But it's the type of thing, it wouldn't have mattered. If there had been a line of 100 people standing up there to say, don't do this, do not give them that street, do not allow an L. Ron Hubbard Hall to be built on our main road to the beach, they would have done it anyway. I mean, I really feel they just think this is their only choice. What are we going to do? They own everything. Does it matter to you? Not to me. It's all about the money in many ways. Yep, indeed. Yep. Can anyone buy the other stores on the street or locked out entirely, says Marcia Smith. There's only one side of one block that is owned by non-Scientologists now. There's a Greek woman. I can't think of her name right now because I can't think of anybody's name. But she has been holding off on selling her properties to Scientology. And there is a guy who spoke at the meeting last night. His name is Tommy, and he runs a dueling piano bar in the 500 block of Cleveland Street, which is very popular now. Weekends, that place is full and it's blaring and people are having fun. It's a little too loud for me. When I heard dueling piano bars, I thought, oh, it's going to be fun. There are going to be a couple piano players there. But no, it's, amplified and, you're sitting right by it and it's, oh my God. So for me, a little overwhelming for me, but other people there absolutely love it. And he's very successful with this in another state. I think up in the Pacific Northwest, he has a very successful restaurant there. He decided to come here and start a new career here. So he got the properties from this Greek woman, and he has invested his own $2 million in fixing up the entire block's worth of storefronts. And his hope is he can get other people filling the other stores around him and bring some life. But across the street, no, that's Scientology's. Everything else owned by Scientologists. So he's got an uphill battle, and he was there to talk about that last night. So the problem is every other building is pretty much under the control of Miscavige, and it'll be a matter of how is this going to disrupt the auditing. Are they serving alcohol? We don't want that because they have to be our wealthy Scientologists have to be able to be audited in the morning, so they can't be drinking. They got to get their rest and don't have too much fun. So not going to happen. Oops, where'd that go? There we go. Doesn't matter to you, not to me, not going to happen this lifetime, probably not. And all those buildings sitting empty, says Holly Lewis. Yep, it is a shame. Well, don't worry, because Miscavige is going to make those pop. It's going to be an exciting era for Clearwater. Cleveland Street is going to be the busiest street in the state. What is this here? Kelly says, Aaron said that this deal will fall apart after a certain number of years if Scientology doesn't actually build, which he thinks they won't, and they are just using this as a fundraising op. What do you think? Well, I think they are definitely going to be putting this off for years and years and years. In the contract, it was said that you have to start building by 2019. If you don't, if you need, or what? No, I'm sorry, 2029, I meant. If you don't start building by then, it's going to cost you $300,000 a year to extend that for another year up to 2033. And of course, they're going to drag their feet on it and continue to fundraise. And you need to pay $300,000? Sure. Hey, can you give me $300,000? Oh, yeah, I'll give you a statue. All right, here's your $300,000. So that's not a problem for Slappy. And you know what? Now that he's got what he needs to put together his hall, what does he care if there's actual businesses making money in those storefronts that he fixed up? You know, chances are we're just going to have new facades in all the buildings like he promised in 2017, and very little effort to actually make a thriving downtown with new retail and all the stuff he promised. You know, I hope he proves me wrong. I hope that he comes through. I can't see it happening, though. When has he ever come through for anyone other than Scientology? And what else do we have here? Yep, $300,000 per year for 3 years if they don't complete the project. That's nothing for the cult. You're right. You're right. Easiest way to support me, says Kelly. Hey, hit that like button and make sure that you're subscribed. It's easy and free. She's right. Everybody applaud for Kelly. Those are good suggestions. And I appreciate everything you do to keep this channel up and running and just make it the treat that it is to visit. It's what they call the greater good, says Psycator. For that, you can also lie. No problems. It's for the greater good. Yeah, the greater good for Slappy. You know, and we're dealing with our reaction. I wonder what Slappy is thinking today. I mean, good God, what's he saying?
Oh, I win. Oh, yes.
Ooh, well, that was creepy. That seemed pretty accurate, don't you think? Heavens. I don't know who makes things like that. I enjoy using AI. Young council members have no clue. Ugh. Yeah, you know, they were, you know, Ryan especially was saying, it's time to get some young blood on here. Okay. Wow, got an ad? Got an ad where? Where's that ad? I don't understand, says Joe Raz and her alien dog, how the three council people want to do. Yes, it seems premature. Scientology doesn't need the street history of broken promises. They had nothing in writing, so why animate it now? Why? Because, you know, they've been talking about this for so long, and they got people on the council now who are willing to say yes. So let's bring it to a vote, and let's just give this a shot, because what else do we have to do? I did get a text from Tracy last night saying I was the voice of reason at the meeting, which was not difficult to be. But yeah, you know, she agrees it's pretty bleak. Okay. Comment, I remember around 2017 when the aquarium had an exhibit in downtown Clearwater. Yeah, they were going to move part of the aquarium permanently to downtown, except David Miscavige didn't want that to happen. But for years, there was a something about Winter, the dolphin, who was the star of a couple films. And the guy who was running the aquarium at that point, forgive me for not thinking of his name now, because I can't think of anything. I'm surprised I remember Winter's name. But he said, hey, let's make a movie about Winter. And it was a big hit. And there was a second film. And that really made the Clearwater Aquarium popular. All the kids wanted to come and see Winter the dolphin. And so moving part of the aquarium downtown would have been the thing that could have changed the future of downtown, except David Miscavige didn't want people in his backyard. Didn't want pesky people who might see anything going on right next door at his properties. And that's the same thing that's happening still today. Wow, do I have the video of the LRH Hall? Let's see it. No, I don't have that. As far as I know, nobody does. If they had, they would have shown it at the meeting last night, because good God, Ryan was saying Scientology should show it. Why aren't they showing it? If they just showed the video to the public, they'd be so excited about the L. Ron Hubbard Hall. Really? Really? You think people want to see a gigantic L. Ron Hubbard Hall in our downtown? Yikes. Let's see. Hi, Mark. Hi, chat. From Ganja Girl. Really enjoyed your comment at the meeting last night. Thank you. Anybody want to look at it? Shall we take a look at my fantastic comments, which I think I screwed up royally, and then I'll talk about afterwards. Let's just take a quick look here. Oh, I got to remove
the loss of a block-long city street will not hurt Clearwater. The construction of a large L. Ron Hubbard Hall will. Hubbard's unfortunate choice of Clearwater back in 1975 was the moment when our downtown's fate was doomed. It has been radioactive ever since. Covert operations against the city, the mayor, the newspaper, and the U.S. government sent L. Ron Hubbard's wife and 10 other Scientology officials to jail
or prison
in the 70s. And Hubbard himself went into hiding for the rest of his life. Not so very different from how David Miscavige hides from subpoenas today. When the city wanted to move the aquarium downtown, Scientology worked hard to stop that. Miscavige didn't want strangers in his backyard, but he sure wanted that property. And that, when he didn't get it, he orchestrated this scheme to purchase all the remaining property downtown while lying about it the entire time. Now Miscavige wants you to trust that he is a man of his words. He is not. A man of his words would not treat the city this way. It may not be possible to stop the construction of the L. Ron Hubbard Hall, a monument to the biggest humbug of the 20th century, but you don't have to make it easy. Hold off on selling the street until Miscavige comes through with everything he promised. 3 buildings being renovated downtown doesn't begin to match what Miscavige promised you, and that is a drop in the bucket. That's pocket change for Miscavige. Miscavige tells you he wants a vibrant downtown for his people. His people have been flying in from around the world for decades, spending all their time and money inside Scientology's properties. They promised there'd be tens of thousands of people coming to the streets. There have not been. All of these people have been coming here. The downtown's dead. In 1998, when ground was broken on the Flag Building, the city was told that would bring tens of thousands of people here. It did not. Miscavige didn't even throw his support behind the Bluff property referendum because he didn't care about what happens to the downtown or what the city wants. I urge you to hold on to the street. It may be the only chip you have left. If you do give Miscavige what he wants, at the very least, rename Franklin Street Lisa McPherson Way in her honor. Give that hall an address that will stand as a true reminder of Scientology's legacy in this city. Thanks. I know you're under no obligation to answer any questions, but I know our wonderful city attorney, David Margolis, crafted something that I'm sure is filled with all sorts of safeguards. I'd like to hear about some of those, if you don't mind, to make sure that Miscavige holds up his end of the bargain. Would that be possible? Oh, apparently it's not. Okay.
We're going to have a discussion, Mark, after this.
All right. All right. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you care about what the citizens are concerned about enough to not answer questions.
All right. Well, that was snarky of me. I was frustrated. I got to tell you, it was really something. I have great fondness for our city attorney. David Margolis is a great attorney. I was, on the council when we hired him, and I interviewed all of our candidates. He impressed me the most right off the bat. The way he runs an office, his credentials, the work he did when he was in Orlando. I thought he was the guy for the job. And luckily, the rest of the council did as well. So he came in, and he's been doing a terrific job. And in the years that I worked with him, I know one thing that he would say all the time. He is the attorney for the council and for the city. So he's there to advise what legally is involved in whatever choices one makes. He is not the attorney for citizens. So I knew when I was asking that question, I'm a citizen. He's under no... I know he doesn't have to answer any questions. I was hoping somebody on the council would do what we used to do when there was a question raised. We would say, Mr. Margolis, could you explain how this works? And maybe we just have a little understanding of it. But I looked at him, and he was looking back stonily. And I looked at everybody else up there, and they were all glaring at me, unblinking, unmoving. Oh, jeez. So that didn't happen. And now, I was talking to Tony last night about my regrets and my comments there, because I really, if I knew that I I'd not have a chance to ask the questions and get answers that I thought I'd be able to, I would have rewritten that and just fit all of those questions in there. What are you going to do if Miscavige fixes up all the buildings and they fail? And does he have to put another business in after the first one fails? How long does he have to keep doing that? What if he puts businesses in everything and no one comes downtown because Scientology is in charge? Will he be able to tear them all down and put up those expensive condos? Is there anything in the city code that says you can't put up condos in the business district? I don't think there is, because right there at the end of Cleveland Street is the condo where Tom Cruise has the top 2 floors. So I think the most logical end game here is that it becomes, Slappy land, and it becomes like Vatican City, and we ought to wall it off if that happens, just like Vatican City, where you've got Flag, you've got the L. Ron Hubbard Hall, you got the Fort Harrison, you got all the Scientologists living right there on the campus. It may be time then to just say, all right, well, let's put a downtown somewhere else if we want a downtown. Unfortunately, I mean, it's a shame because every other city around us has a booming downtown, and the only reason Clearwater doesn't is because of Scientology, and everyone knows that. Let's see. Ms. Pillow, it's disheartening. I lived in the area as a child, and it makes me sick that DM is grabbing even more power with this move. Doofus Council, at least 3 of them. What the heck? In the positive realm, look at this. Marcy gifted 5 Xenu TV memberships. Again, thank you. God bless you. Hey, that's what she said, Kelly in chat. I missed the meeting, so I'm a little behind. Well, I played you my comments. I don't know if you're here for those. I can play you a few comments from other people if you're interested in taking a look at a couple of those. Oh, Ms. Pillow. Oh, so sweet of you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right. Hey, I'm just, I guess this is relating back to the video we showed of the, of what's being done to the buildings on Cleveland by Scientology. Copper plumbing. I'm sold. It's going to be fabulous. Yeah. And again, if you haven't seen that video, you can go to Cleveland. What is it? I don't know. Cleveland Street Alliance, I think it's called. Not a mention of Scientology in the whole thing, but it's all Scientology. Why does the video say Cleveland Street? I thought it's Garden Ave. Well, Cleveland Street is the district that we want. And if you're talking about the 3, the video I showed you of historic Cleveland Street being fixed, those were the 3 storefronts that Miscavige promised to fix up a few years ago when he was trying to do a land swap for an L. Ron Hubbard museum, and that never happened. I was on the council at the time, and I kept hearing, "Oh, we were talking about it. We're trying to nail something down." But it never came to a vote when I was there. And then as soon as I left, of course, now we can bring deals to the council. It's like Miscavige said in 2017 when he didn't get the property he wanted where the aquarium went. He said, "I'll wait for the next council." And then he got me on the next council, and he said, "I'll wait for the next council." And he got the council he wanted. It is South Garden Avenue that would be sold to Scientology. Oh, it's nice. It's nice going back in time here. So, the faucet is running in the video. Yes. I lived there, says Miss Pillow, in 1957 to 59. In other words, I'm old. So am I. And I've only lived here since 2000. What's this? Bridge 1872 says, comment in the video. Do they mention all the surveillance cameras at each building? I was wondering that myself. Why in the historic recreation of showing how they're fixing up these buildings, why aren't they pointing out where all the cameras are going to be on the building? Because there's certainly plenty of them everywhere else. And more. Where'd it go? Oh, I'm way behind. I'm talking too much. More beautiful empty buildings, says Marina. Dave doesn't do anything that doesn't benefit him, says Rochelle. Uh-oh. Goblin AFK's notification didn't ding. You ought to see a doctor about that. Rochelle gifted 5 Xeno TV memberships. Wow. That's saintly of you. Everybody, thank you. Yes, it is French. I got it right. Thank you. Well, if it wasn't for Mr. Hulot, I've said, oh, palette? Is it palette? But I love Jacques Tati too much to know that, it would be pillow. Let's see. Mark, I am sad that I missed your AMA on Sunday. I was out of town. Now I will never learn your favorite food. Sad. You'll never have a chance to ask that again. It's like, when is that question ever going to come up to me? My favorite food. Guess I'll have to do another Ask Me Anything. So you're going to have to wait. Ms. Pelot's got a good question here. Can I get this shown? There we go. Under parliamentary procedure, couldn't one of the 3 who voted for it ask for reconsideration of the decision if we were able to get them to have a change of heart? I think that would be difficult. I don't think any of them want to change their vote, but they voted. I suppose it hasn't been sold yet. And they did this separately. They had the vote, should we sell it? Separately from, we're selling it. So is it somehow possible? Yeah, but don't get your hopes up. It's all so insidious, as Psychiater, and I recently found out that even something seemingly innocuous as the way to happiness has all these back doors for abuse built in. What do you know? Something from Hubbard has loopholes? The way to happiness. Oh, thank God he came up with the way to happiness, because 10 commandments wasn't enough. And I was always confused by thou shalt not kill. But when Hubbard says you shouldn't murder anyone, now I don't have an MU anymore. So thank God he wrote that wonderful handbook. And there's going to be statues for each of those 21 precepts from the way to happiness in the lovely city park. Everyone will be able to go there and relax in the beautiful, beautiful park and learn all about the way to happiness precepts. Isn't that kind of Scientology to make a public park for us? It's hard enough to start a business, says Joe Raz, and her alien dog and Sir's chipping in as well. You're lucky to break even the first year. That's what working hard with blood, sweat, and tears and putting every dime you have into it. It is sad. Yes. Yes. And that's why I'm so amazed by the willingness of this dueling pianos guy to come here and spend all his own money fixing up this Greek woman's buildings. I mean, normally you would, expect them to fix up their buildings at some point. So he's got, he's got a lot on the line, and he's willing to speak out against Scientology. In fact, this guy who is, he's actually from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, got a very popular YouTube channel. I'm not mentioning it yet until it's up. But he was in town a couple of weeks ago doing a video on Scientology. And one of the things he did was go over and interview this guy. And, I went along, and it's great that we have somebody willing to go on record and what it's like to have a business here, because no one else will. I mean, if people would go to the paper and say, this is what they're doing to my restaurant, these are the things that are making it difficult for us to stay in business, no one will do that, because they know their business is shut down instantly if they do that. Ryan was cringe last night. Well, he clearly, you didn't see the beautiful video. If you saw the video, you wouldn't say that. The Hubbard Hall, it's breathtaking. God, you got to see the video. Do you think Scientology will spiral once Slappy has gone to Target 2, Narrative Destroyer 2? I don't think he's welcome on Target 2. I think once he gets there, Hubbard is going to be very pissed. Or he might say, what took you so long to build an L. Ron Hubbard Hall, for God's sakes? Come on. I've been dead since 86. Now you're getting it done? Hey, here's something. Marcy says, I agree, Mark. I'm not sure what I said that you agree with, but I'm sure damn glad that you agree. Oh, Kelly has some starred for me. Oh, okay. Well, look, it's a star. Caught your interview with Tony. Very informative and interesting. Thank you. It was nice. I always enjoy chatting with Tony. I got to tell you, I was wiped out. I didn't have anything to eat at all yesterday until after the Tony thing. It was like 10 at night. I went, oh, I ought to have something to eat. And you'll be happy to know I made myself a hard-boiled egg sandwich. Oh, so delicious. You didn't ask that question. That was an ask me anything answer right there for you. Is it my favorite food? You're going to have to wait for the AMA to find out for sure. Monica Unknown says, it was easy to see from the forums and newspaper articles when the city council race was on that there was no hope for any intelligent understanding of the seriousness of the Scientology problem. And sometimes I think that people understand it. They just think, can't do anything about that. What else can I do for the city? I'd sure like to be on the council. And maybe there's something else I can do elsewhere in town. And I don't, begrudge that. I really enjoyed helping out where I could. But if you think a task is impossible, why try? If that's your feeling. You know what we ought to do? We ought to do something different. We ought to just give Scientology what they want. Different? That's what they always get. What they want. Look, here's a star. Rochelle, the public comment was just a formality. Well, I mean, they always are. Public comments are good, especially if you've got an unpopular position on the council. It's good to have somebody chew you out. It's good to have people applauding. And so if you have a large number of people, it helps. But by and large, when you come in to take a vote in the council meeting, you know your position generally. And hearing from the people, they can give you some insight. But I think most times people have their, have made up their mind which way they want to vote. That's not always the case. There have been times when I have listened to the arguments of people on the panel and gone, all right, see your point. One I was thinking of is we hired the new attorney who I was all for, and everyone on the council, I think, pretty much agreed that he was the choice. We also hired a city manager, and in that decision, there wasn't a clear-cut leader. And there was one guy that had some troubling background. And in the city he was in, Portland, Maine, I think it was, in the city where he was a mayor at that point, there were a lot of scandals up there, including one where he was upset with the fire chief. And so he told his staff, go over to that wall. There was a wall of memorial bricks someplace in the city, like the street here on Cleveland Street, where there's a memorial brick where remember Lisa McPherson, it says. So there's one that was for the fire department on this wall. And he said, go over there with a crowbar and just tear that brick out of the wall. And that was in the paper. And I went, what? This is not the way you have a relationship with that folks that you're overseeing, working with. It's something pretty petty to go and yank out a brick like that. And he didn't admit it in the paper, but when I asked him about it, yeah, I did that. So I made sure that I brought that up when we were having the public interview with him. We all had private interviews one-on-one, and then the candidates came before us in front of the cameras, and people could watch and choose, see if we chose the right person. And then the other thing was there's video of people, hundreds of people in the street, calling on him to quit. And I thought, well, this is a troubling sign too. So I made sure that we brought that up in the open public comments. And at the end of the day, the other 4 people on the council wanted to hire that guy. And I said, hey, listen, if you hire him, there could be trouble down the line. But if you all want to hire him, I will make it unanimous and I will give him my full support. And I did that. I made sure that I worked closely and I worked well with him, and we got along great. And a year later, the rest of the council decided to fire him. And I said, well, maybe we should give him another year. But nope, he was gone. So, you can have your vote changed. Generally, it's not because there's a line of people telling you to do the right thing. Hopefully you are doing the right thing. But people can think the wrong thing is the right thing. And hearing the voice of reason from the public doesn't necessarily get through to them. Kelly is a great mod. That's something we can all agree on. Look at this. Jay is correct. Everybody, for Kelly. Thank you. Thank you, Kelly. And Kelly, thanks you as well. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, I see Lapita and Rochelle also gave their applause right there. So thank you. Janet Weiland from Scientology was at the LA City Hall today. They're trying to get a street vacation on L. Ron Hubbard Way. Well, they already essentially control it. Why do they need to own it other than, of course, keeping pesky critics off the street? But they were able to do that when I was walking down it in 2000. You know, anytime there was any type of protest, they went to great lengths to try to figure out a way to stop us. And eventually, the most successful thing they did was get a filming permit, which cost a lot more. So then they could station police on either end and say, sorry, filming going on, even though there's no filming, and stop you that way. Joe Raziner, Alien Dog, once again say, this is what I don't understand. Decades and decades of false promises, yet people still give him what he wants. It baffles me to no end. Well, when you got power and you got money, you often get your way. And he's sitting there with leading a dangerous cult with $3 billion at least in the bank. City can't match that. City can't even try to match that. There are things we could do, but it's easier to just go ahead and, oh sure, you can have the street. What do we care? I hate to say it, but Nasty Nathaniel has much respect for me, and I'm a humble man. So I try not to acknowledge that I am truly a legendary SP. But I guess that's why I'm known as a national treasure. And in some parts, a historic treasure, an intergalactic treasure. Why didn't Scientology set up a campus out in the country rather than turning an established downtown into a rural area? Yeah, why didn't they just go out into the woods and create their own sewer system? Just build it from scratch. Do it the way it should be done. Lord of the Flies like. Unfortunately, we're not that lucky. Hubbard was living on a boat for years, and he said, I'm tired of living on a boat. Where won't they notice me? Oh, look at this little town in Clearwater has a hotel and a bank we could buy. And, we could rent King Arthur's Court right down the street in Dunedin, and we could all live there in those apartments while we're taking over the city. So convenience was one thing. We just got unlucky. And here's good advice. Joe Raziner, Alien Dog, says from Mark's channel. So she's applauding Mark's channel. I highly suggest watching Mark's videos throughout the years. It's a treasure trove. Yes, it's a wonderland of video enlightenment. I try always to have fun in the videos I make. Oh, look at this. There's jealousy here. Bridget was amazed that Marina got to actually meet Winter the dolphin in person. Woo-woo. And I didn't want to break it to you. Yeah, but Marina Winter died a few years ago. It happens. We're making progress here. Marina loved the suggestion for Lisa McPherson Street renaming, and I do think that would be a good thing for the city to do. I honestly do. If the L. Ron Hubbard Way was located at 1 Lisa McPherson Way, or the L. Ron Hubbard Hall rather, was at 1 Lisa McPherson Way, I think that would be a proper balancing act for the city. So if somebody missed a creepy laughing Miscavige, scroll back about 10 minutes. Well, why do that when he's sitting right here waiting to laugh at us at any moment?
Oh, I will. Oh, yes. Yes, they better.
Can pop up anytime. I decided I needed to have something fun to show tonight. Oh, boy. All right, where are we here? I let them off easy, Bunky. Well, I mean, what can you do? They have to sit there and listen to you, but you don't have to curse at them. And some people don't understand that. Some people do come up and curse and get dragged out of the meeting forcibly by the police. I didn't want to go that route. I did speak out of turn when Mike Menino, one of the council members, was talking about, we have to have an open dialogue with the public. Well, then answer some questions like I asked you to. And he got very upset about that. Have some respect, Mr. Bunker. And then the mayor with the gavel. I was out of line. I know you're not supposed to do that. It just was an impulse because open dialogue. Answer questions. So, if you expect me to go up there and throttle them and say, listen, you're going to vote the way I tell you, it's not going to get anywhere. Why were questions not allowed? It's up to them whether they want to take questions. And historically, when you're doing a council meeting like that, public comments are what they are, comments. They're not supposed to be public questions to be answered. So they don't have to answer you. Should they? Yeah. But yeah, if you're in a position where you're in charge and you're ready to vote, you just want to get on with it and get on to the next thing. And, that's why you would have a public forum on a certain topic. They should do one on this, for example. Say we're going to be over at this gymnasium or this hall in a couple of weeks on Monday night. Come on over and you can ask us all the questions you want about the L. Ron Hubbard Hall and Scientology downtown. We'll be happy to answer all your questions. Will they do that? No, but that's where that's the type of thing we normally do for something that is major. And frankly, this is major, but no one wants, they know if they have a forum like that, it's going to be a whole bunch of people saying Scientology sucks. And I think we all acknowledge that. And then there'll be a few Scientologists saying, oh, we're great people, you bigots. And, they're great people, I'm sure. Am I taking too long with this? Are you folks tired of me scrolling through all of this? The Oreo Ritz says, Mark, it's kind of creepy from your YouTube videos of Clearwater being deserted, literally empty buildings, like it's all for Thetans. That's right. It's just filled with BTs. They don't show that in the video, but it's crawling with BTs. That if you open the door, they come flying out at you and stick all over you. Yes, in memory of Lisa McPherson, may her memory of the COS, what Scientology did, this lovely young lady, never be forgotten. In memory of how important mental health help is important. It can save lives. Yes, Lisa McPherson Way. And if there's a letter writing campaign, and there's plenty of time for this to happen, you might want to write City Hall and say, it's a great suggestion. Please rename Garden Street Lisa McPherson Way. See if enough letters, enough phone calls sways them on that. Like, I've wanted to rename a street for Lisa McPherson all along. And I was thinking of this little side street that the LMT shared with the Office of Special Affairs, Watterson Street. I thought, well, let's just name that after her. But it'd be a lot better to have the street that goes between the L. Ron Hubbard Hall and the Flag Building be renamed Lisa McPherson Way. Will that happen? A city will never piss off Scientology that way. Although Scientologists, they should want that. They should want to remember Lisa McPherson. You don't have to confess that, oh yeah, we killed her. Just say, she was our friend. Yeah, she was a lovely woman. It's a shame she's not here to attend the concert. I don't know what happened to her. Oh, it's going a lot darker than I thought it would. Clearwater may be a barren city center today, but once Scientology collapses, its buildings will stand as a testament to the dangers of cults. Ironically, people would visit that. You're right, they would. I think, yeah, and then, we can open up the superpower building and everybody can go to the oiliness table and participate in that. And you've got the gyrosphere. That'll be fun. If we can't have a roller coaster, you can at least get in that and spin all around. It'll be a great little amusement park. Witness multi-chick. Everyone is scared of this tiny cult. LOL. It's amazing. I was afraid for the first year before they knew who I was. And then when they came and picketed my neighborhood and came to my home, I said, well, no reason to be scared anymore. They know who I am. I'll point a camera at them. I'll put it online. And that has been the best way to kind of keep them at bay, even though they still followed me around for years. What is DM's goal? Is it to create a Scientology bubble in Clearwater? Is it to acquire land for monetary gain? No, it's to make Clearwater the first Scientology city, the way it has been meant to be ever since L. Ron Hubbard moved in here. Even as late as 2000, in one of their magazines, that was their goal, to make Clearwater the first Scientology city. Uh-oh. Witness, I want to hear about this. Oop, there we go. Hey, Mark, someone called a welfare check on me today. I'm glad you passed it. A-OK. That's good. I'm only going by the photo of you, but you seem perfectly fine to me. I like it. All right, I've talked so much. Oreo Ritz has gone. Good night if you're still here. If you watch this on playback, if you just want to catch the end of it, I said good night to you. But don't go to bed again if it's like 8 a.m. and you just saw it. Jay, Mark, will the public ever know what Slappy and the council discussed prior to the meeting? No. That's the appeal of having private meetings. You don't have to share. Again, I don't think anybody would be surprised by what was said. It was, Slappy, I'm sure, going, we have a chance here to really be partners. And I want to show you this video I made and all the plans that I have for the downtown. I want to activate this for my people. We want to have a thriving downtown. And that is something that he did say. He was talking about how he wants it for his people to have a thriving downtown. Oh, yeah, sure you do. You don't want it for anyone else. But I mean, if he wanted a thriving downtown for his people, he could have done it at any time, especially since 2017. He wants what he wants. Are we still doing Gen X troubleshooting? This is taking so long. Okay, I confess that that's out of context. I'm not sure what that is. I like hearing Mark's story, says Rochelle. Oh, and Jay does a smart thing, or suggesting it for others. Watch this on replay so you can watch it twice the speed, so you don't have to sit through all the boring stuff at normal speed. But one thing I do know is a witness does the correct thing to a damn fault. I enjoy going through that. I know it's dull to watch me scrolling through this, but I enjoy seeing what everyone's saying. Oh, did Justice just show up at like 11:30 or 11:33? Hello, everybody, Mr. Wisebeard Man. Nice to see you. Welcome. You know what you need to do now? Let's go back, watch them from the beginning at twice the speed. New user, I'm curious how the government bodies will tank the local market when Scientology has finished paying for the buildings to be repaired. You really think the city is the bad guy in downtown Clearwater? All right. All right, new user. Okay, so this is interesting. I appreciate hearing this from Michael Andreas, Nasty Nathaniel. Parker Osman is now the head of security at PAC. How about that? Well, I was thinking, I didn't see the PAC when I saw this. I was thinking maybe there was some news about Antonio's position here in Clearwater, because Antonio was the security guard that used to be on Watterson Street for years and years and years. And last time I saw him a week or two ago with this guy from his popular YouTube channel, he had got a promotion, and he's in a black suit and talking into it. Oh, they're going across the street. Oh, I think Bunker's with them. Counselors, no, this one, oh, here's new user again. Okay. Counselors will make a pretty penny buying all those freshly renovated buildings for pennies on the dollar. Yeah, that'll happen. Witness. Get it back there. The LMT was an amazing organization. I agree, Mark. Yes, it was over. It was wonderful. I said over because I was looking at the next one. Hell, we're freeze over first before that happens in Clearwater, Mark. I don't know what that was referring to, because I have to run this back at twice the speed to find out what I said. Scientologist is envious of the Vatican. Hey, Orson, why are you using AI images? Please don't. What's that image of you? It looks like it's drawn. So, is that supposed to confuse me? Am I supposed to think that's a real picture of you? Huh. Do you think somebody thinks This is a real picture of Slappy?
Oh, I will. Oh, yes. Yes, they better.
Well, maybe it is a real picture. I don't know. It could just be one of those really sharp cameras that picks up details we don't normally see. I know people are upset with AI. AI is going to destroy the world, but like I always say, when I do it, it's fun. Hey, oh boy. You know, I think I'm caught up here because I skipped over a few things. You know, I've had fun. A witness agrees. Everyone knows AI is just a tool, but it is a tool that will turn on us at some point. It is creepy when somebody makes something specifically to try to trick you. I think people can see that, okay, this is satire. All right. Well, you know, how long we've been going? Hour and 51 minutes. It has been a lovely, exciting evening, don't you think? Are there any other things you wanted to talk about the meeting or Scientology or downtown Clearwater rather than me just babbling on? Oh, you know what? Let's do this. Let me just show a little bit more of the meeting. And then, Stuart, I'll answer your question after this. I want to show, is this the one? No, it's this one. The guy who ran against me, who maybe cost me the race because he pulled votes away from me, was nice enough to say that he was sorry that he ran against me. And he got up to speak out against Scientology too. And I think he made good points. And I wish that I had spent my time making more points about what could happen rather than the way Slappy has treated us in the past. But this is Mike Mastrosario. Oh no, that's me. Where'd he go? I thought it was. Oh, there you go. Well, how come we're seeing me? I've got to remove that
Most
one.
of you all know me. I'm going to first read a couple quotations. One is from Mr. Albritton. I think we ought to be talking about this publicly on the dais as a regular talk. Councilmember Dave Albritton responded. The next one was, one of you four men. We are at a point where we need to start bringing the public along with us to have these discussions in the sunshine so that we all we're all on the same page. And he asked, supposedly we all want the same thing, right? We want a vibrant and alive downtown. So if we want the same thing, where is the disconnect? You figure out which one of you four said that. Okay, next thing is, Jennifer's just stated that they are not in agreement with what you want. They don't want to give you everything that you want. So that doesn't mean there should be a deal. Now I'll go a couple steps further. And first of all, I appreciate every one of you. I never thought I'd have to be up here even discussing this. But we are. Ryan sent me an answer back about parks. And he said it's going to make a nice park for the public, all the public to enjoy Ron Hubbard. That's what's going to be in that so-called park. There's a park right now between South Fort Harrison Hotel and the county building. Have any of you ever been in that park? How many citizens do you think have ever been in that park? The L. Ron Hubbard Hall membership, their reason for expanding the reach into our society. The reason I became a member of the L. Ron Hubbard Hall was I can see my job as a Scientologist to comfort and monitor the insanity of the world at large. We ought to all give up our own churches and go be part of this. We're insane if we don't. I stay on top of what's happening in the world. I ask myself, what can I actually do about it? The answer is always support the only entity that can bring sanity to this planet. And Scientology came to downtown in 1975. It brought a hotel and wrote plans to take over control of the city. That's called Project Normandy. Do your homework. And it was true. And Mark said people did go to jail. And then in speaking, it came sneaking into town, a religion with beliefs and practices alien to the teachings of Jesus that preached in Clearwater Christian churches. So different from the law of the prophets that are taught in city synagogues. The law of God of Israel. Thou shalt not steal. And then there was other things that went on. But I'm going to close with, this vote may seem insignificant in the world's view since it's a small right-of-way. This is a defining moment in your elected office. The vote is about principle.
Thank you.
And I pray for all of you success.
Next speaker, please.
And somebody was asking, can we see the person who spoke in favor, like that woman? I don't remember everybody who spoke in favor, except the one really old guy toward the end there. I know there are one or two, and I'm not sure whether this woman was pro or con. Let's give her a shot here for a moment and see if she.
Hello, my name is Lola Wagenborg.
I think she might be
I'm
pro.
not comfortable behind the mic. I give the mic to all you
No,
guys.
I think she's against it.
But anyway, the gentleman that used to be an ex-councilman, I did have the pleasure of telling him he could not badger Scientology on the radio station without giving them equal time. And the lady that was there, I don't know if she knows Trailblazers.
I guess she is not on my side. I don't remember badgering Scientologists on the radio, but I'm
But
sure I
Wanda
have.
McCauthen and Chip Collins have been on the radio over 40 years. Scientology, they are religious people. They do their shows on religion. Scientology does not bother them, ever. And
Well,
to
there
all
you
the
go.
people here, I was here probably 30 years ago for St. Patrick's Day, helping Josie paint her building purple. But anyway, this town, I've been here 37 years, and I'm not comfortable behind the mic. My husband was, my mentor was, but they've all died. So I'm here, and the progress that has been done here with Scientology, if you remember the Fort Harrison, the old gray moss building, everything was awful. It was awful. I hope the people who reject this go to Rome and see that the Vatican is there. Rome flourishes. All the hotels, all the restaurants around there flourish. Clearwater, I wish, would be like Rome. This is for progress. If you've ever been down Garden Street, it goes from nowhere to nowhere. The old Jiffy building used to be there. I used to go there for printing. There is nothing there. Nothing. And if you're trying to take Garden down to get to Clearwater Beach, it doesn't have a light. You think and will let you in, they won't. They won't. The auditorium will bring people here. In 2 years, we're not going to have the court downtown. We're not going to have the Pinellas County buildings down from all over. And we need to get downtown back again. And these people will come here for this function, but all people, they eat, they drink, they party, they will do good things for downtown Clearwater. I have been to restaurants, and they have been against Scientology, and I said, Danny, before you say one more thing, I can point to 10 Scientologists here. They support the city. And I just would like you to sign this. Let's all get along and bring prosperity to Clearwater. Thank you.
Oh, well, she didn't ask me to sign it. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but I would have signed. I don't remember badgering any Scientologists on the radio or otherwise. They kind of badger me from time to time, but there you go. Anyway, she wants a pretty building. I guarantee you, the Fort Harrison looks better than it looked when Scientology bought it, and that beautiful L. Ron Hubbard Hall is going to be gorgeous. She's right. So what's the problem? What could go wrong? Ah, boy. She's misguided or something. Yep. Okay. I don't know if you want to take a listen to maybe some of Ryan's comments here. Oh, these are the guys from the Dueling Piano Bar. Maybe we should listen to their comments if you don't mind.
4 minutes.
Okay. Well, today represent my 3 businesses here with Rob. We're representing our 500 block. Today we stand at a crossroads. We stand here not to discuss the street or to debate policies, but to decide what Clearwater is and who it belongs to. For too long, the city has been shaped by hidden hands, silent deals, and the system that thrives on secrecy. It has been shaped by those who do not build, but hoard, by those who do not uplift, but control, by those who do not serve, but rule in the shadows. And yet, we've allowed it. We've accepted stagnation. We have let those with power convince us that they are untouchable. Our voices tell us that our voices do not matter, that we should simply just accept what we are given. But that ends today, because I know what Clearwater can truly be. This past Saturday was proof of an undeniable future. Clearwater can thrive. We can bring it back together. We can give them a reason to come together. We can fight and make it worth a place worth traveling to. It could become alive. Not because of policies. This didn't happen because of policies or false promises, but it happened because of us. The builders, the workers, the entrepreneurs, the families, and the people of Clearwater. Clearwater does not belong to those who cling to power out of fear. Clearwater does not belong to those who operate in silence and control people through illusions. Clearwater belongs to those who refuse to be ruled. And that means every single person in Clearwater. That does not mean someone of one faith or another, their past or their affiliations. We all have to make a choice. To the members of Scientology, the Church of Scientology, I speak directly to you. You are part of our city. You have built it with us, you've invested here, and you've called Clearwater home. But home is not to be controlled. Home is not to be ruled by fear. Home is not to be silenced in the corner. So today I invite you, not as enemies, not as an opponent, and not as an opposition, but as a neighbor, to stand with us, to reject secrecy, to reject division, to reject the unseen hand that dictates our futures. Our futures. If you truly love Clearwater, I say stand with us, the people of Clearwater who want development for downtown, to the city council, to the votes that matter, for I'm just a voice here in silence. You know what I mean. I've sat here in private meetings and meetings with you. Some of you might not like the way I express myself, but believe me, I express the truth. You have used my own work to validate your stagnation, to justify inaction, to convince yourselves that Clearwater somehow has already progressed. But what we have built is proof of its possibility. It's not proof that we should stop fighting or stop growing. Today, we must decide whether we serve the people of Clearwater, the ones who have long held, or the ones who have long held power in grasp. There is no neutral ground here. You either vote for the people, for unity, for transparency, or you vote to sell what was never yours to give away. Choose carefully, because the truth is, I won't give up. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to build this town best I could, like I promised you guys that one day. And I think together we can build this town, and that means with everyone. Believe me when I say it's coming, there's a turning point, and we can do this together. But this has to be voted no. Thank you.
So he doesn't like to say Scientology, but he knows that everyone on the council knows what he's talking about, and he did have to jump through a whole lot of red tape to get his business up and running. So he was very frustrated by how long it took to do that. But he has put all his passion and all his effort into bringing life downtown, and he's been succeeding. So for him, hearing that they're selling a street to Scientology, it was dumbfounding and it really depressing. But he's pushing through, and you have to help that guy succeed, and the city does not seem to be doing that, and it's a shame. All they're doing is making it easier for Miscavige to exert control over businesses like his. Crush him. And I think he's got enough stamina and appearance to have enough funding to keep going. And I have been seeing his business building and thriving. So I wish him the best of luck. Let me just see if I can take a peek here at
The loss of the
not
block loan.
that one. Oh, leave me alone. I got the wrong one here. Let me just see if I can forward to a little bit of Ryan saying, "Oh, there we go. People, you have to see the video. You have to." Where is it? I don't think this is the one.
Of what it's going to bring to the community with this project going forward, closing garden, from the taxpayer here, we've got a good deal, and later on I'll come back to that, that staff has worked diligently on that protects taxpayers and business owners with certain interests that kick in for protections going forward. That we've secured commitments to revitalizing our Cleveland Street, which is our downtown and leads into the park and the Bay Pier Sound.
And you can certainly trust those commitments from David Miscavige.
Point, the city can withdraw from the deal if in fact the project has not been completed. So that is the framework of what has currently been drafted based on the direction the city attorney's office has received. Again, subject to council's direction this evening. If there is something different the council would like to see, frankly, this is the moment, so don't be shy.
So thank you for giving that out, and I hope that brings some clarity. And to wrap up with that, I'd like to bring up, I have told the city manager to express this when she's negotiating. From my perspective, every time, is that Scientology has a 15-minute video of what they intend to do and what their buildings are. Come and share that at a work session. Like, get the community on board and let them see what you intend to do. It's fantastic. It literally is. If the followers, we can see the steps of them starting to activate certain portions of property that they owned at.
Payments to the city.
Oh, for God's sake.
Non-refundable payments.
Oh, why you do that?
$300,000 a year, and they
That the city leadership happens to be
I just wanted to say,
it's hard to draft,
let me
but
just,
because there are different.
that's plenty. Ryan, with the promises. Oh, if they could see the video. Oh my God, it's going to be great. Listen, I'm not saying Ryan's a bad guy. It's just, come on. There's been how many decades of experience with Scientology? Oh yeah, Miscavige is going to change. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, get Slappy here at the podium. Have him show the video. Everybody just take a look at the screens here. Oh, look, it's the Hubbard Hall. That'll win everybody over. Any rate, listen, we've gone on now over 2 hours. And I know I am fascinating. And everybody loves hearing me talk as much as I do. But I think we have to wrap this up sometime, and it may be up to me to say, okay, let's call it a night. The fact that people are streaming out of the room, that's no clue to me. I could keep going all night long, but I won't. All right. So if it's all right with you, why don't we wrap it up? I don't know who we have to turn to get an approval on that. Who?
Oh, I win. Oh, yeah. Is that better?
All right, he wins. He's getting rid of me. I'm calling it a night. Thank you all. I really do appreciate everything that you have done for me in keeping me going here, and all the donations, the donated memberships. All that is just incredible. That is evil. That is evil. Oh boy. Jay, 10 more Xenu TV memberships. Hooray. Are you saying that that video is evil? Demonic? Maybe. A witness suggests I drink some coffee, then take a 15-minute nap, and then come back here and do some more. No, I'm calling it a night. I'm going to be on with, is it Natalie tomorrow? I agreed to talk about the meeting with somebody tomorrow afternoon. I'll have to look up who I agreed to talk to. I think it's her. And that'll be at 2. So you may see something about that if you're around and you want to hear me blabber more about exactly what I was talking about tonight and yesterday with Tony. I can talk and talk and talk, but that's it for tonight. All right, everybody. It's been fun. It's a wrap. Let's all go back to our own corners of the galaxy. See you soon. Bye.
What are your crimes, Mark? Yes, what are your crimes, Mark? Your crimes are hidden, they should be seen. Spin all out, Mark, and just come clean.